Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
What's up, Josh?
What's up, Chris?
All right, how are we doing?
Did I hear a pause joke?
Not from me.
For me.
Wow, that's incredible. Nice work.
Yep. We just set the hobby back 15 years.
That's fine.
Well, can't be any worse than some other content creators have done.
We only set it back 15 years. All right. Well, this thing filled up pretty quickly. All right, let's welcome everybody to the crossover. Today is October 18th, and we're going to make this a slightly shorter crossover, probably going to be 90 minutes or a little bit less. So we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to jump into it. And I will say that I thought the questions were unbelievable. So many great questions of things that I like to think about all the time.
Nice.
So great job. The people reacted when we punished them.
Yes. It seems like we get this sort of this back and forth. You say they did great, next week's going to be terrible.
Yeah. So maybe there won't be a show next week. We'll see.
I think that's the thing, right? Is like after we come back from a break, the questions are better.
Yeah,
Sure.
they may be. All right. So first of all, any announcements that are related to Card Ladder? No?
No.
No.
No mail
All right. Then
days.
we go to mail days. Do you have a mail day?
No, I got
All right.
a PSA order next week.
Oh, nice. Okay. I have a mail day, raw card. I'll just show this really quick.
Oh, nice.
So this is 2022 NFL Rookies and Stars from Panini, and it's the Purdy 1-of-1 parallel to the base set card.
Nice.
So
Rookie.
rookie.
That looks like Recon, doesn't it? It kind of looks like a Recon.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Sure does. And it's a 1-of-1. The only 1-of-1 parallel to the base set.
That's always good.
It is always good. All right. Let's get into some questions here.
All right.
And we're going to kick this thing off with a topic that we did not get to. Publius says, is that the game manager parallel? Well done. Okay. So we didn't get to talk about this topic last week, so we will get to talk about it this week. Heritage's auction results. So we got 3 questions on this, and we'll just mow them down. First one comes from Ryan Bitter, who says, did you guys ever talk about those fishy, exquisite auction sales? And if not, please do.
Yeah, I'm pulling some of them up. Like I think the KG was one of them. It sold for like over $100,000, right?
Yes.
Let me pull some of these up.
I've got one that I'd like to pick on as
Go
well.
for it. Yeah, I'm still digging.
Yeah, I'd really like to pick on the John Stockton one.
Yeah, because okay, go ahead.
Right, so there was a John Stockton 2003 exquisite autograph patches PSA 8 that sold on Heritage for $18,600 all in, and there was another that I believe the Stockton one was a PSA 8 Auto 10, the one on Heritage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then there was a different PSA 8 that was on eBay at the time of this auction and after it that was listed for $1,500 OBO and didn't have an autograph grade, but it was also PSA 8, and it had a comparable patch with, I think, 3 colors as well. Pretty close. Even if we want to stipulate to the fact, let's stipulate to the fact that the Heritage one is 2 times better than the eBay one, just for the sake of
There was an 8.5 with a better patch.
Right.
That
and there
was
was
at like 2,700 or something
right.
like that.
So this doesn't mean that the Heritage auction wasn't paid. In fact, I think there are a lot of signs pointing towards the fact that it will get paid.
Right.
But what it does mean is that collectors who are trying to survey data to figure out how to make their own purchasing decisions, how to rank and compare products and cards and sets, I think that they surely would want to know that there were very similar copies available for sale on eBay for, less than 10% of the price that one went for. So it's I want to make the observation independent of the payment status. So also stipulating that it will get paid. This is a great example of why critical thinking is always going to guide my collector experience. And I'm always going to try and afford myself as much information as possible, looking at other marketplaces for comparable or the same card and see what it's available for, looking to other similar players from the same set, looking at other similar sets of the same player, try to broaden the breadth of the inputs that I am going to take in before I make a buying decision as a collector. And I think this is the critical case study in why it is always going to be beneficial to slow down, evaluate things, avail oneself of all the resources at one's disposal, sales histories, other active listings on marketplaces, and be extremely careful and vigilant and well researched before making a buying decision.
There was also the other interesting thing is that there was like 5 cards from the same set that all sold for the same price of different players. So the Julius Erving sold for 18.6, the Stockton, which we already talked about, the Larry Bird sold for 18.6, and also we didn't mention this, but the Stockton, I know a little bit more about these patches, so I'll comment on it.
Yes, please.
Patch here is actually from like the sleeve of the like the inner part of the jersey where the armhole is, like right here on his, either from this side or this side, which is a much less popular portion of the jersey. Collectors obviously prefer from like their logo if they can get it from the jersey logo. So the fact that this was actually a less important piece of the patch is also a little bit fishy, because the 8.5 on eBay was like a chunky patch from like the Jazz, much more sought after. And then the Patrick Ewing sold for 18,600, same set. And then Reggie Miller as well. These are all pretty similar cards that sell in the 1,000 to 1,200, 1,500 range. Yeah, maybe the Larry Bird a little bit more. I thought it was interesting that they all sold for that. And it seems like the only logical explanation is like there was a buyer who was working with Heritage and was like, hey, I want a bunch of exquisite. I know you guys have all these coming from the same collection. I just want to win them all. So just put in these bids for me or whatever. Bid 20,000, something insane, just to make sure I win. And they won them all, and they're like, okay, whatever. I'm paying for 10 of these at once, so I'll just pay these. Anything else on those 5?
No. Nope. I think that sums it up quite well.
The other one was the Garnett, which I think needs to be talked about, because there's also like some other collectors coming out and trying to defend these. So we have to like respect the collector's point of view from this, but also be realistic. So this is the 2003 number pieces Kevin Garnett, and it is the jersey number 21 of 21. I think other comps of this card that weren't the jersey number come in at like $4 to $5 grand, like three to $5 grand, around that range. This one sold for $132,000. And I saw a comment that was like, I would pay 100x for jersey numbered comps. And that's just like way off the standard and the norm for what someone would pay for a jersey numbered card. It's usually like 2x max. It's more like 1.5 to 2, maybe, if it's crazy, like if it's MJ or LeBron. Some people really want the 23 or 23, but for someone like KG, I don't see those ratios. So that one stood out to me a lot more than the Stockton one. It's just like 132,000. I think the all-time high for Garnett before that was like not even close to that number. Let me pull that up. Do you have any others?
No, I don't. And it's probably also worth noting too that there were plenty of other sales that were not extreme outliers.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like the rest of that auction, for the most part, conformed to a reasonable boundary of what the cards would be expected to sell for.
Just some random exquisites, and was it all the exquisites that went too high, or some random ones? Because
it wasn't all, definitely wasn't all, but there was quite a few. There was a Jordan that was pretty outrageous as well.
Here's the all-time KG sales. I took out triple and dual because there were some like triples and duals with other players I took out, but solo Garnett cards. You remember this Jordan and Kobe have sold recently for outrageous numbers, and this is a 1-of-1. I mean, what's better than a jersey numbered card would be a 1-of-1 with a logo man, and it sold for half of this at a 21 card. So it doesn't really make much sense. Yeah, the Jordan one was way above comps as well. And the Kobe was way above, but that was a PSA 1010. Let me pull up the. There's more, dude. I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but I don't see many exquisites that like fell in line. Okay, this Jordan here. So the PSA 9, 10 sold for $562.
Yeah.
We had a 9.5 that sold during the boom of the mid 2022. Higher grade for $456. So we're like, and then an 8.5 sold in 2020. These are all like 2021, 2022 comps. Here's a June 2024 comp for 120. So we went from like 126 to like 560.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. I like the Stockton example though, because it's incontrovertible empirical evidence at the time of the auction and for the duration of the auction, and then even after the auction, there was a highly comparable card valued on eBay at less than 10%. I think it might still even be on eBay right now.
Yeah. Well, okay. I hear you. But this Kobe here, this card sells all the time. There's 100 of these. This is a 04 Kobe Bryant limited logos. There's two variations of this. There's a home and away for Kobe and LeBron. And I was told that like the patch and grade combo got people excited. I've seen similar. A lot of these are really nice patches. The limited logos often have really nice patches, and it sold for 120,000. This card usually goes for about 40 grand, and I've seen like premium patch ones go for 50 to 60. And I like am confronting people like, why would you bid 120 on this? You could have just bid 60 a month ago in Premiere. Well, this one just like a little bit nicer pet. It's just like I'm not buying some of these reasons.
Yeah, and there will be plenty of time, in fact, the entire future ahead of us, to see what happens when the next 2 or 3 copies of each of these incomparable grades comes up for sale.
How much of this is that they're all at the same auction, and like the convenience of seeing them all together is getting people excited and like bidding on all of them? How much is that?
Yeah, it's something. It also sort of raises the eyebrow even a tick further, just because these all happened at once. I mean, how many big whales were on the line bidding here?
Right.
Usually when a bunch of stuff floods the market at the same time, the effect is to dilute the prices, not to increase them.
Yeah. I like this T-Max sold for 17,000. Like what exquisite sales did you see that came in line? Like this Carmelo Anthony sold for 16,000. His like RPA at a 99 sells for way less than that. And that one traditionally sells for a lot more.
I think one of the ones that I know that we're tracking that seemed okay, it was also high, but not 10x high like the Stockton, was Carmelo's RPA.
Yeah.
I think he had a PSA 8
sold for
exquisite RPA. Yeah.
But why would, the limit, it's a 8 auto too.
Yep. I was thinking more so not the other exquisites, but just there was a lot of other cards in that auction. Like there was, for example, there was a Topps Chrome Gold PSA 10 LeBron that sold for 50% of the last one. Seems within reason.
This Reggie Miller sold for 11,000. The LeBron of this, which is a rookie card, sells for like 40.
Yeah. I did see a few different collectors trying to sell their copies on Instagram shortly after these results came in.
Yeah, and not only that, but being like, you can have mine for half of that heritage comp, and it's like, oh, I don't want it anymore because you're just like, I don't want that one. It's like, this is the same patch, same. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and look, I mean, I think skepticism is certainly the default right now for an unbiased observer here, or somebody trying to be unbiased. I think there's a lot of reason to be skeptical of these sales, but whether somebody is excited about them, believes in them, or is skeptical of them, just calm down. We're going to see what will happen over the next year or two. There are 99 other copies of that Stockton. There's plenty of other copies of these other cards. So new comps will get printed over the next year, 2, 3 years of all of these cards. And we'll be able to get some more context as more sales roll in.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I own LeBron exquisites, obviously, so I am biased. So I'm posted about it in a few stories last week, and we didn't get to talk about it because we didn't have a show last week. But I was pissed about it because it's just like fake hype on something that's just going to come right back down because of the supply, and like we're going to end up correcting downward more than we would have if these just organically went up 5%. I know we've talked about this so many times. I just don't understand why people get excited about 2xing overnight. It never works that way. It never works out in the long run. It's always better to have organic growth slowly. And, we've just seen it over and over again. So I don't know why you would get excited about it. And I was pissed because as someone who understands the premium that you can put on a card like this for the patch and the autograph, there was a lot of like mansplaining going on of like, oh, well, you don't understand. Like, I've collected these for years, and these patches are premiums, and this comes from a premium collection. This person spent a lot of time going through and making sure they got the best patch, the best autos. That's not true. These are I would say they're above average, but they're not like out of this world. These are the top patches. For example, this is the worst auto I've ever seen on this card that wasn't faded. It's very small. He has much less going on with the autograph. For example, not to toot my own horn, but there are better. Hold on, let me find it. There are better versions of this. Like the auto here is a lot more pronounced, as you can see. The patch, like there's better patches and better autographs that exist out there. So like these actually don't command. These shouldn't be commanding the premiums that people are talking about. It's like, oh, these are good patches. These should be 3x what your guys' copies are. Not really. It should be like 5% more on some of these, 10% more, in some cases less. So thanks for the explanation. I know how this works. That's actually not correct.
I think we'll call that patchsplaining.
Sure.
All right.
Patchsplaining. That's a good title.
Yeah. That's good. Okay.
Do you feel like that? Like we're just like getting told what's going on about, oh, here's why, because of all these fancy numbers and this fancy collection and pop ones, because they're PSA and people usually grade these as the BGS and these patches are better, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I'm a little desensitized to it because it happens. I don't know how many times it's happened to different segments. I can go back to 2020 and 2021 when base PSA 10s were all the investment rage, and it was prism splained to me that hey, Luca might have 20,000 prism based PSA 10s, but 20,000 people show up to American Airlines Center for every game, so that wouldn't everyone in that arena want at least one? Therefore, these prices are sustainable. So like we got Prism splaned, we got Charizard splaned, we got everything splaned.
The one that always makes me laugh is like the price of something will triple overnight, and then it gets explained to us like, well, yeah, because that player was undervalued before, and they obviously should have been here all along. Like, oh, like I had a good game last night, of course it tripled. It's like, so what? At what point would you not make that statement? Does it have to 10x, 100x? Like, when do you stop saying that? It's all like relative value of what it is, right? It's not just, you can't just explain it up to the moon until you feel like it.
Totally. Totally, yeah. It takes me back to 2021 and 2022 when, we had the 86 Fleer Jordan PSA 10 for 750,000. And then there was, I think we got Gary V splaned on that one. And then we had, a series of auctions during that time when we would just like look at the results come in, and we would just kind of say, there's no way that this is going to be a sustainable price for this caliber of card, given what's out there.
Yeah. Those exquisites out of 100 have always been like, who cares? They're out of 100. They're like the lowest rung of exquisites because they're the easiest to get. They're horizontal. Like, it just, those are silly.
Yeah, something that I think about too is let's grant that somebody will, they're probably the same person, or somebody won all these, okay, and they paid, because like they made a contract. They made a contract with Heritage by bidding that much, and so they're obligated to pay it. And I think that I just get a little worried if this was maybe a newer person to the hobby, or somebody dipping a toe in, somebody from an adjacent collecting space coming into cards.
I mean, two people?
Well, right, there had to be an underbidder as well, right?
That's what's confusing me the most, I think. I can understand someone being like, yeah, just put 20 grand bids on all these. Who cares? Who's the person bidding the second most?
And how did they sort of stop at the same point on all the cards?
Right.
Yeah, these are questions. But let's stipulate to it being all legit for the purpose of what I'm about to say, even though that doesn't necessarily mean that it is. I'm concerned about the advising that's happening at the level of the auction house when there's somebody bidding considerable amounts, and there's an obliviousness most likely to the historical market trends and to very comparable items that are available on other marketplaces.
Preach.
So that's something that I think we as a community, we as businesses, auction houses, advisors, friends, fellow collectors, let's use this as the motivation to redouble our efforts to make sure that all of our fellow collectors are well aware of comps and of historical trends and of available marketplaces,
right.
so that we don't make this mistake. Because what if this person, clearly this person was a very motivated and interested collector, and clearly they are putting substantial funds into this industry. They might be a great long-term collector, and we might have just lost them for good.
We've seen that many times.
Exactly. Because God forbid they find out that they pay 10x what the card is worth, and they did it 5 different times. I mean, I would just throw open my mouth if it was me.
Yeah, one of the other mansplains that I always laugh at is like, oh, this person that won these are probably so rich they don't even care. There's no such thing as a wealthy person that loves paying 10x something. It doesn't even matter what it is. Those people got to that point because they don't do that. That's it. That's like the point, that they don't blow money. They're very strict about each dollar spent, and that's how you get to the point of having enough wealth to be able to do something like that. Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was a waitress at a high-end Italian restaurant, and I can tell you that the richest people are the worst tippers. They're not letting go of any extra cent if they don't have to.
They're like, They're like, excuse me, Christina, you were a great waitress, but let me explain to you compound interest. I can't be just like giving you an extra $5.
No, they were like, you were an amazing waitress. Here's 12%.
Yeah.
And I don't tip on tax. I tip on what the cost of the food was prior to the government coming in and telling me I have to pay tax on it. That's literally what they would do. So, like, to say, like, a rich person has so much money, they're totally fine, spending 10x. is someone who's never had money or had a job in customer service.
Okay. I'm going to zag on this take. I'm going to zag. All right. I don't disagree that generally that's right. That
Whenever Christina and I team up, he has to zag.
I gotta zag.
Josh, every time.
Look, I gotta zag on this. All right. I am sympathetic to the dumb billionaire hypothetical.
Why? Who is this person you know?
I'm sympathetic to the dumb billionaire hypothetical. I do believe that there is dumb money out there that just gets blown occasionally.
But
maybe at the casino.
To your point earlier, though, they put trust in somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Most likely they did.
Yeah. Because if it's dumb money, that person is wealthy enough to say, someone do this for me. I'm not going to stay up this late and bid on all these cards. Someone bid for me. So there's trust being put somewhere.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that topic got glossed over until tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm glad we were able to touch on it a little bit. Lakers Exquisite had a question, which was, were those Exquisite Heritage auctions confirmed paid for? Some of them already have been confirmed paid for. And if you do have a question about it, I don't think that the collections window for payment has been fulfilled yet for that Heritage auction. But like in 2 or 3 weeks from now, it certainly will be. And just go click on the link out from Card Letter Sales History and see if that A, if the link is still live, and B, if it still displays a price paid, which you'll need to log into Heritage to see if it does. But if those two conditions are met, if the link is live and a price paid is shown, it's a pretty safe assumption at that point that it did get paid for.
Did you see I showed this earlier, but on the Stockton on Heritage site, it says, the item's owner would consider the right offer. I bet you would.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure they would too. And then we had one final question here, a little bit of a longer one from Drake. He says, on last week's episode of Auction Talk, Brett and Nick were talking about the Heritage results. Specifically, Nick spoke about a collector and a client of his who was interested in one of the cards for nearly 6 figures. Once it went over that number, the individual backed away. Similarly, I've seen other Peyton Manning collectors moving cards that they never thought they'd sell because the cards became too expensive and they would rather have the cash. My question, if collectors, even high-end ones, are really the backbone of the hobby, and they aren't willing to pay the prices that these cards are now selling for, is that either a signal of something worrisome, like a bubble or bad actors, or is it more likely a signal of new collectors entering and the demand for rare and scarce cards is just increasing organically?
Yeah, we kind of explained this, but the reason we get so angry is it's not necessarily a bubble. That's not the term I would use. It's just like a temporary fake hype bump that's just going to come right back down.
Yeah.
If that's a bubble, fine. But like a bubble to me is a more like long thing. This is just like a one-off.
Like a spike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Middle
or
finger.
An outlier.
Middle
yeah.
Finger.
Middle finger. Yeah, I would treat these as outliers right now. I think that's the statistically sound inference to make. But then let's let new data come in and see where it lands.
It's the Stockton. It's an impossibility for this to maintain 15. It already has happened. Like literally as it ended, it's already too late. There's another one. There's 2 more on eBay.
I agree. All right, moving on here from Publius 13.
He's a crap, what's the word? He's not a collector, he's a organizer.
Curator.
Thank you, Josh.
He said an organizer.
He's an organ player.
He's a grassroots community organizer.
Publius 13, well-known organizer in the hobby,
Organ
would like
donor
to
as
know
well.
this.
Organ donor.
Proponent of organic growth.
Guys.
Okay, he says you buy a card on eBay, you pay immediately. How long of a grace period before you can get angry about the seller's time to ship?
These are good questions so far. I like that question a lot because it's like I paid immediately. It's usually like we're always thinking like, oh, the buyer takes a week to pay. It's so annoying. But what about us collectors that like want the thing and we want to pay right away so that we can get it shipped quicker, so we can have it quicker because we really want it? For me, it's like I have like no patience. It's like 2 days where I'm like, come on, dude. I'm messaging them like, hey, Where's the tracking? What's going on? Please update me, etc.
The worst is when you buy something on a Friday night and then they don't ship it till Monday.
I know.
And you're like, dude, you had half a day on Tuesday to go to USPS.
You mean Saturday?
Or yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
So you had half of a day. Like you could have put your alarm on. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
And they say it like so, like it's an expectation. Like, yeah, obviously I'm shipping Monday. Come on, it's the weekend, dude. I'm not doing anything. It's like, yeah, it's like 2 of the 7 days. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to respect the shipping and handling time if it's specified, and
Right.
some eBay listings do specify it. But as a general principle, next day.
Yeah.
Next.
Thank you. Let's
day,
go.
24 hours. You know what I mean?
I love describing the pattern that should be followed every time a transaction occurs. You know, pay, confirm payment. So like it's just like this very robotic thing to me.
Yep.
Next morning, pay for it, tracking, paste the tracking number so they can copy paste instead of, you know, taking a picture of it, etc. Like all that stuff it's important.
Yeah, I agree. Also, a nice tip to enhance the selling and the buying experience is the seller. Like once they pay you, go grab that card, take a picture of it, package it up, take a picture of the package, confirm that the address on the package matches what they want it to be shipped to. Just little steps that make the process go smoother. But like, and even if it's 2 days, 3 days, that's tolerable, but there should be communication. But when it gets to like a week, you know, I mean, that's out of control. That's partial refund territory.
Yeah.
A week is crazy.
I got a question.
Well, did you submit it?
I did not, but it just came to me. It's like an add-on to Publicis's.
Okay.
At what point are sellers gonna start saying like, "I shipped it quick, so tip me"?
Yeah.
Don't even. Why would you even give them that idea?
I was thinking like we praise a lot of we praise specific dealers, like friends of ours in the space who like do it the right way, even though that should be the norm. But like they stand out so much as great dealers because they do the stuff we're saying.
Yeah. Tip the dealers, says Christina. All right. Next question here from mostly 90s basketball cards. You are playing your favorite hobby video game and using the create a card feature. You have 100 attribute points that you must spread across 3 categories: rarity, aesthetics, and significance. How are you spending your 100 points?
Wait,
I like this.
do we want to answer this?
Don't
This
fight the
sounds
question.
Like, no, because it sounds like David's trying to get us to like give ideas for new cards, and to which I say the manufacturers can pay us as consultants if they would like this.
We can give an answer.
Rarities, aesthetics, significance.
Yep.
100 points. Okay, I like this. You're right. These are good questions so far.
Oh, they get better too.
All right. And Chris, you're not allowed to spend all 100 on rarity. You have to spend at least $1 on all 3. How about that?
Yeah, that's well. I want to know how I broke it up.
Well, can I guess really quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right. 75. Oh shit! Actually, No, I'll go like 60 rarity, 30 significance, 10 aesthetics.
Dude, you almost nailed it.
Yeah.
You almost nailed it. Look what I had.
I had to think about it for a sec there.
I had 60 rarity, 20 aesthetics, 20 significance.
Interesting. See, I thought you would just like take the 30 significance and 20 and the 10 aesthetics. How come you even those out?
Because aesthetics can't be 0. It needs to look nice. But it can't look nice at the expense of rarity. I'm hoping that 60 means it's a 1 of 1. Maybe there's other 1 of 1s along with it, you know. But I'm banking on 60 being enough to get me to the 1 of 1 status, and then significance is important too. Like, is this, you know, in one of the early, I don't know how many points 20 points gets me on significance, but hopefully this is like this level of significance is at least, you know, the second year of Prism or something, and then aesthetics. Like, it has to look nice. It should at least not look ugly.
I thought significance was player specific, like rookie card.
Yeah, that's fine too. A rookie card is significant for sure. So how did you break it down, Jeff?
Well, I like yours as a jump off point because I like your arguments. I'm going to pull 15 away from rarity and go 45, and I'm going to give 5 to significance and 10 to aesthetic. So I'll go 45, 30, 25.
Christina?
I'm gonna do aesthetics 40 because if the card's ugly, I don't want it like to be near it. Rarity, 40, 60, so 30, and then significance 30.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are a little more evenly distributed than I was.
Yeah.
Enjoy
You're
your common cards, plebeians.
Hey, 45 gets me in like the out of 5 range, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a thing like that I hope would have.
Yeah. But when you said it like that, I was thinking like, this is gonna sound weird, but if it's not a 1 of 1, I'm just like, 23, 50, whatever. Like if it's out of 5, I'm like, man, you might as well just go for the 1 of 1. What's the point of the out of 5?
Yes, exactly. Okay, I just got a good title from Stiff. Some in the chat have chimed in. Publius says greater than 50 rarity is a pro puppet culture store. I don't know what that means.
I like how some of our potential captions could be taken as like people thinking we're talking about them. They're like, oh my gosh, are they like mad at me? This title is, what if this is about me?
Yeah, well, the Turtles were upset that they didn't get the title.
Oh, I forgot about that mail day. Damn it.
What
Christina's mad at me now.
The Turtle mail day?
Christina's like probably stewing over there.
I think she forgot it as well.
No, I remembered. I just figured it was too important to him, so he didn't want to share it with the public.
Yeah, it's already in like this triple steel 100-foot thick steel vault already. You know, it's hard to get it back out.
Yeah. I figured it was like framed on your wall by now.
He has to unlock 8 different codes to get to it.
I think I just threw it under some paper. I can't.
That's nice.
No, I got it. I got it. Here we go. Mail day. This is from Christina.
The latest mail day has ever been revealed in a show. This is significant.
Yeah, let me get the light just right. It took me like 30 seconds to get my bearings of what the heck I was looking at, but here we go. What do you think of that?
That's Alan Ginter turtle card.
This is an Alan Ginter turtle card, and much to everyone's dismay, it is wrapped in a lot of plastic. We've got the plastic team bag, we've got the plastic top loader, we've got it all.
That is ironic.
Thank you, Christina. What a great gift. When I got it, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I was like, because Alan and Ginter, it's kind of hard to see. You know, you're like, what is that? And I was like, oh my God, it's a turtle. That's amazing.
That's great.
Okay, so Pax That Slap is asking how quick it was shipped, and that's the card I bought on Friday night. I literally bought this during the crossover, during the turtle talk 2 weeks ago. It took a week to get to Josh, and then like he didn't check his mail Friday night, so like he didn't get it till Saturday.
eBay didn't need to authenticate that?
No.
How do I get this graded? Does PSA have the ability to slab something this small?
Probably with some extra plastic on the interior to hold it in place.
So just like the irony of that just went right past you. The extra plastic to wrap the turtle?
Yeah.
Should we put what are those things called when you put the soda cans in what are those called? Those rings?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 6 rings.
Did I just like put the turtle inside of that?
Oh my God, that'd be so funny.
Yeah, it's a good mail day.
Yeah. I wonder what something like that's worth.
The card? It was $1.30.
Oh. Well.
All right.
The pennies label was more expensive than the card.
The plastic is more expensive than the turtle now. This is where we're at in our lives.
All right. Next question from Collectomaniac. What is one football card that each of you would love to see surface? I likely know what your basketball answers would be, but I'm not sure what your answer would be for football. What are any of the hidden grails?
Do you have one?
Yeah, I have a stupid self-serving one.
That's the point.
Okay, well, yeah, I will take this as the opportunity to broadcast this request. For Christian McCaffrey, I still need one of his 2017 Select Blacks. I have the Premier level, I have the Concourse, I need the Field level. I know it exists, I've seen it, pictures of it, so I would love to see that card surface. McCaffrey's Field level 1 of 1.
I have 3.
All right.
The Todd Gurley Topps Chrome Superfractor rookie, the Todd Gurley Topps Finest Superfractor rookie, and his Prism NT Shield. I've seen a picture of the NT Shield, I think. I think I know who owns it, but like they're not really in communication. So I guess that doesn't count since it's surfaced. I've seen a picture of it.
Nice. Okay, and then if I were to like step back and just kind of say like
the Steph Curry
what's the coolest football card that could pop up? Yeah. How about the 2017 Prism Black Tom Brady?
That one has not come out. Interesting. And what's the significance there?
First year of Prism football. And I think Brady has 2 1 of 1s, the Pylon 1 of 1 and the Black Finite 1 of 1. But I mean, that's pretty sure that's the first Black Finite.
Oh, you said 2012? I thought you said 2017.
No, 2012. And that's football didn't have Select in 2013. I think that might be the first Black Finite period. Is 2012 football. So
yeah, that one would be sick. That would be a really expensive card.
Yeah. That's why it'd be fun.
Would that be the highest selling football card ever?
Well, Brady had some champ tickets sell for like $3 million.
Yeah, like 3.8 million. A BGS 9 at the absolute.
People are saying that I said 2017. Yeah, I should have said 2012.
Okay, I was like,
first 2012.
Man, you really like Mahomes' rookie year, bro.
Yeah, no, you were like, what's the significance of that? 2012, the first year in prison. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, the 2012 Black Finite. That would be an incredible card.
Yeah.
That wouldn't sell for 3.8 million, but it'd be really sick.
Yes, it would.
That's like the Luka Prism Black Steph Curry Superfractor answer, right?
Yes, exactly.
Smart. I can't think of anything more clever than that.
Yeah. All right. From Kick It Forward. What if auction houses offered Dutch auctions, but for cards? Imagine a PMG green Michael Jordan starting at $1 billion and then sliding down until the first whale buzzes in to claim it.
That's what happened with those exquisite sales on Heritage. You guys just didn't know. So remind people what Dutch is. It starts super high and then it comes down until someone bites. Bingo. But that usually works better for something with a high supply.
Exactly. That helps to establish a clearing price. Like I remember when Josh Luber was engineering those, they would do Dutch auction style, but they would only make everybody pay what the lowest was, I think.
Yeah, so he did a true blind Dutch auction where people would put bids on boxes based on what they thought the box was worth.
Yeah.
And then if there were 1,000 boxes being sold, the person who had the 1,000th lowest price, like bid for that box, was what was charged to all 1,000.
There you go.
Right.
But
do you remember when? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go.
Do you remember when first off the line used to just be like the easiest money making scheme ever, and like we would just get friends to buy and like get as many boxes, and then they finally figured out like, okay, we can't just sell these at a certain price because they're just getting flipped for 10x that immediately. I think they did Dutch auction for a little bit towards the end of that.
Right.
So theirs wasn't a true blind Dutch auction though. So theirs was a like weird take on a Dutch auction where they would start at, let's say, $5,000, and then every half hour or so it would come down $500, let's say, and then people would bid But if you came in at $4,500 and the last one sold for $2,000, you still had to pay $4,500.
Yeah, it was like until supply ran out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one stunk because then people were like, "What the heck? I paid twice as much as that guy."
Yep.
Yeah, those days were so funny too because, and it must have been so frustrating for Panini. You know, the Dutch auction would close or the FOTL window would close, and not even within an hour, they would be selling on eBay for 2 or 3x.
I remember that was like back when everyone's website would crash, and Panini's was just like within seconds, like literally seconds, we're all logging in trying to buy these boxes, and the site would just go down so fast.
Yeah, when we used to like get as many friends as possible to like buy to max out and buy their one.
Yeah, because they were like retail, like $500, I want to say, for some of those Prism first offline box, and then they would sell for like $3,000.
Yeah. Well, what if? How would you feel about it if this actually worked this way for cards? If like an amazing LeBron card that you want showed up, but instead of starting from $1, it started ticking down from 5 million or something.
I don't like this. This is making me too anxious. I don't like change.
Yeah, I think we would see way higher prices because.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, because especially on like really great cards. I mean, how low are you going to let it drop before you're just like, forget it? I'm buying it. I'm done. Forget it.
All right, listen to this. I have a really interesting question. I want to hear from the two experts. You both get to guess. So the scenario is that I want to know the difference between the average end price of a card for an auction or a fixed price. So it's kind of a similar. It's not the same as what the Dutch auction, but like you're isolating, like, would people pay more in a fixed offer where it sits there and the seller kind of determines the top end, right? Or auction where it's just free market. Which do you think on average sells for more? And this is for September, and it's for eBay listings.
And you have the actual answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is it concentrated to only a certain price range? No.
So the average price is pretty, it's like, it's not like $10,000 or something. Yeah.
So it's eBay sales, fixed price versus auction. Which one sells higher for the month of September 2024?
And it's raw cards, it's low dollar cards, it's everything.
It's everything. Okay.
I think for like a lower average sale price, if we're talking like in the aggregate of $100 level card, I think fixed price is going to do better. But I think if we were looking at the higher end, auction would do better. That would be my guess.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
I'm going to say fixed price does better.
Fixed price does better on if I limit it to like graded cards or like more expensive cards. As you do that, the fixed price goes higher. But if you just do all cards, auction is higher on the like if you include all the super duper low end.
Okay. Interesting.
Because I think that's mostly just because, like, if someone's willing to auction a card, it's going to at least have a higher floor than stuff that's just sitting there for $1,
Yeah, and plus you don't see with the reason why I thought for sure auction would be lower is because with fixed price, lots of it goes unsold.
Yeah.
So you're really only getting realized results when the seller is willing to accept it, and you can't factor in the stuff that you don't see, which is the unsold stuff. So I guess then the mechanism here is that sellers systematically underestimate what their cards are worth.
Yep. That, and I think the auction really does like force the action. It's like a trade deadline kind of scenario where like there's no trades that happen 2 months before the trade deadline, but then there's like a bunch the day of, it just forces the action.
Yeah, it's cool. That's really cool.
Do you know, like by what percentage the difference is? Like, do you have that data?
No, I ran it for like PSA slabs, and auction average price is 122 and fixed price is 150. So like as you get more specific about like PSA only or higher end cards only, the fixed comes up higher. That's the only really like conclusion I could make.
Yeah, like I would be interested in focusing in on like 5 specific cards.
Yeah.
And then being like, of their auctions versus fixed price, of those only 5 specific same condition cards, what are we seeing?
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, because like looking at the data as a whole, like we could extrapolate some consistencies, but narrowing down would be where I would be like, I would geek out.
Yeah. I kind of had the theory going into it that they were going to be like complete wash. Like over the aggregate, they would just sort of like come to the mean of what the comp is.
Yeah. And was that the theory that you like came back with?
Kind of. Like I feel like they kind of oscillate over each other depending on what variable you introduce or remove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then another question too is how much variance is there?
Yeah.
So like we can look at the measure of centrality, but then like with an auction, does $100 card, does sometimes it get 50, sometimes it gets 150, but we average at 100. Whereas with the fixed price, it sells strictly between 80 and 110, so you get to an average of 90 or 95, but the variance is much smaller on a fixed price. I would guess that too.
Yeah.
You know how we added the on the industry tab, we added the table of the platform breakdown, which is the first thing on that page that's not just like a graph.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like an interesting layout of like just raw numbers that people can look at. I feel like we might be able to add more random stuff like we're talking about here, where it's like, what was the like super specific? It's like a question. It's very specific. It's very focused, and then it just has the answer. And each month it refreshes with a new answer. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome.
Because people like the graphs, but like after a while, you're like, okay, it's a lot of green lines.
Right.
And now everyone just saw a quick peek into one of our phone calls when the 3 of us start geeking out on data. You're welcome. We'll go back to questions and entertainment now.
Yes, many more good questions still. I want to try maybe like rapid fire our way through.
All right, let's go.
All right, from JP3 Cards, which players do you believe best represent the Panini era in both basketball and football? Love this question.
Do you want to do 3 from each or 3 total? We only get 3 total?
No, it doesn't have to be 3. It can just be which players. Which players do you believe best represent the Panini era?
All right, let's just say some names.
Yeah. Well, I came up with a methodology for this, which is just my stupid approach, which is which players have the most total MVPs and have a rookie card that Panini manufactured. So those 2 things. Have a rookie card by Panini and have the most total MVPs.
During that time?
No. Period.
Oh.
Period.
Okay.
No limitation.
Okay, I understand.
Period. So for football, it's obviously Mahomes,
right?
Who has 5. But does anybody know who second place is?
I mean, I do.
Lamar,
it should be Lamar and Purdy, because we all know Purdy should have won MVP last year.
Yeah, but he didn't. So that I think that's really interesting. Is that Lamar is like the second most decorated player who has a football Panini rookie card. And then for basketball, Jokic has the most with 4. Curry and Giannis are tied for second with 3, and that's it. Those are your top 3 in basketball.
Curry has a Panini rookie? Yes, he does.
Yeah. So that would be my answer to this question. But I'm artificially restricting it to only players who have rookie cards. If you expand it to players who have a large presence in Panini products but don't have rookie cards, then you have to bring in Kobe. You have to bring in LeBron. You have to bring in Tom Brady. There are some of the all-time greats who have awesome Panini one-of-ones and stuff like that.
I took this question as if someone asked me to tell them a story of like the Panini era, what players would I reference in those stories? And I put in Luka and Zion because that 2-year window was like when things really started to pivot, in my opinion, on like prism base, the parallels. Like it started to really get more dissected by people, because before that, I feel like prism was popular, but not even close to where it is today. And those 2 products like You remember, dude, like 2018 especially, it was like, holy crap, everyone's buying Prism. Everyone's going back and looking at 2012 for the first time. Like there was a lot of research going on at that time. And then Zion continued it with like, he took off in terms of like the pop reports going up a lot. People started really getting back into like prospecting with Zion because it felt like, oh, this is like the guy that had the high school highlights and all that stuff. So I put those two guys down. I also wrote down Mahomes and Lamar though.
Yeah, Zion was phenomenal. I remember Christine and I were going to trade nights at Bullpen in Los Angeles, and we had been going to trade nights for years there. And when Zion's cards started coming out, the attendance at those trade nights doubled. Yeah. And there was people there. It was just fun too. We would just go walk up to people and ask them like, "Hey, like, never seen you here before," and they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm here to buy boxes and try and hit Zion cards." It was the impact that Zion had was just crazy. And then throw in Wemby. Hey, we have to throw in Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I mean, his impact is pretty phenomenal too.
I'm glad that Josh included Luka so that I didn't have to, because I'm a total like homegirl for Luka. But
homegirls for Luka.
Like,
is that like what it is for Kamala?
That's the name of her forum.
Fangirl. So yeah. I said homegirl. I don't know. Anyway, I would also add in some non-quarterbacks to the football list due to the fact that MVP really just means best quarterback of the year.
Yeah.
So, like, I would add in some other people. I don't know who. Like, probably fantasy people are the only people I actually know. And I don't even know who's on my team because McCaffrey's been injured this whole year. Because I don't really pay attention to football. But, like, I would just, like, broaden that out.
Yeah.
Like,
probably Kelsey, because
Kelsey, yeah.
Because the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's football guys. I mean, defensive side guys, too. Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt.
Yeah. J.J. Watt has a Culver's meal right now where the profits go to his youth football foundation.
Yep.
Justin Herbert.
yeah, dude. Yes. Joe Burrow should get a mention here.
Yeah, there's like some interesting players that like got prospected on really heavy, and I always thought that was an interesting part of the hobby.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson. I mean, Jalen Hurts was the I remember during 2022, I think, the season it was either 22 or 23 where his cards increased threefold over the course of a season, and he was the biggest gaining player in our player indexes for that entire year. So, like, Jalen Hurts had a real moment too.
Did you mention Giannis?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had Giannis as one of my three.
Let's not forget all of the Bears quarterbacks that they mismanaged as well, because Stiff is in the chat chirping.
Yeah. All right, that was a really good question, though.
Two more names: Ja Morant, Trae Young, because we hated them so much.
Trae Young and Ja, yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
They got
the only thing.
A lot of stuff going on.
Like, the one thing I will say though is, like, for the Zion and the Trae. Again, I don't know football well, but like for those two, I'm hesitant to add them because I'm looking at this question as not just today, but in the future.
Yeah.
Like when we're looking 20 years from now and like people are looking for the Panini cards, it's not going to, like, no one chased the guy who was like the number one pick over Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, so.
When the prospecting is all over with.
Right. Like, people aren't going to be chasing those cards.
But there are players from other eras, especially the 90s, who didn't win MVPs.
Right.
But are heavily collected.
I agree.
Yep.
So
I just don't think Trae Young is one of them.
Yeah. All right.
Those are going to be football players, I think.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Of the football players of this era are going to be collected like the 90s basketball guys were, even though they didn't win MVPs.
Definitely. All right. Next up is from PG Collects. what is the best one-of-one of all time? It can either be a single card or a parallel line.
Wow.
Yeah. See, this is the stuff that keeps me up at night, questions like this.
Oh, no. Come on, man. No, come on. Give me answer the question. Christina's like shaking you. Come on, man. Wake up. You're kicking me.
Yeah.
The first one that popped in my head is the MJ Gem Master, but that's like 98, 99. It's like maybe a playing years car. I get it. I'm not sure. That's tough. I feel like it's got to be one of those MJs.
Well, there's so many right answers to this that I don't know that we'll be able to cover all of them, but Michael Jordan's highest selling card ever is 2003 Ultimate Logo Man autograph 1/1. I think that gets a nod. 03 Ultimate as one of the best 1/1s of all time. I think Curry's Topps Chrome Superfractor 1/1 got a mention. Curry's National Treasures Logo Man autograph 1/1 gets a mention.
The two highest sales are the Luka and the Mahomes Shield autos.
Yeah.
And,
we're about to be yelled at, and I really don't feel like my DM is blowing up. The last question, when they were talking about defining athletes in Panini era, and we didn't mention any WNBA players.
Well, I wanted to say Caitlin Clark, but her Prism hasn't even come out yet. I had her written down, but she doesn't even have a card yet.
The select.
Christina's really torn up about this, by the way.
I am. Because I don't want to fucking hear it. So, yeah, the select boxes just sold for, like, crazy prices.
Yeah. The only problem is we're talking about the Panini era, and Panini allowed Caitlin Clark's entire rookie season and playoff run to elapse without producing a single traditional set that featured Caitlin Clark. And still don't have one.
Did anyone in a position of decision-making involved in Caitlin Clark's rookie season make the right decision? Like a single person? Card manufacturers, league, people, coaches, anybody. Like, seriously, it's a joke. She made the first team All-WNBA and she wasn't invited on the Olympic roster? Are you shitting me?
The incompetence extends itself into the fact that Game 5 of the WNBA Finals, the winner-take-all, loser goes home, biggest game of the season, happens on Sunday, going up against the NFL. And they have had playoff games, I think, on nearly every Sunday of the NFL season.
I watched the game on Wednesday because they had or was it Thursday? It was Wednesday night. I watched the whole game.
Yeah, because it's not on
there's nothing fucking else on. I would rather they just wait till next Wednesday than play it on Sunday.
Exactly. I just think it was so.
And the time
I don't know
is
if it's.
weird.
Wait, hold on. So are we saying that women are making bad decisions? Oh my God, who would have thought?
I don't know that it's women making.
They're probably men in charge of. These are probably men in charge of these decisions.
Yeah.
The president of the league is a female.
Yeah, but she's probably not.
The Adam Silver.
She's probably not deciding the day-to-day of this game should be scheduled on this day. There's probably a scheduling department.
Bill pointed out on what you said on the Sunday thing.
Yeah.
It's not even at the optimal time during the day because there's that really short window of a lull at 5 p.m. Pacific where you're waiting for the Sunday night game and the first game's over and people are taking a break. You could do it then, and then it's no, let's do it right in the heart of.
Yeah. People are complaining that they would like to watch the WNBA, and they're putting it up against the most successful sport in the history of televised sports.
Well, it's not only that they're putting it up against an individual game, they're putting it up against a flurry of 12 games where you're spreading out these people that are watching fantasy, they're watching their local sport, their favorite football team. You just can't fit that into all that stuff. It's too much.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Did you watch the game on Wednesday? It was fucking amazing.
I watched the
logo 3-1
tonight.
Game.
Yeah, those games were awesome.
So someone in the chat said just get the dual monitor. I don't think you understand. At our house, we literally have 4 TVs going on Sunday.
Football though.
All football. Yeah, so
literally 4 TVs, all football.
Well, we have one TV that has the Bears game, one TV has Red Zone, and the other TV is like a 4-box of the YouTube NFL ticket or whatever.
Yeah, those two teams that are left are good.
Yeah, they are.
Watched WNBA and been a little bit bored, but I feel like these two teams are good. There's a lot of talent. Like Ionescu and Stewart are really good. And then Collier is good on the Lynx. Like, they're a lot of good players.
Oh, there's legacy on the line too. If Stewart wins Finals MVP, and I think she is the favorite to, she would come up to 5 total MVPs, which would tie her with Lisa Leslie for the second most in WNBA history.
I didn't even know that. She has Finals MVPs already with the Storm. Yeah. Damn.
She's also a UConn legacy girl.
Yeah, but I mean, she could get to 5. Lisa Leslie has 5 as well, and Cynthia Cooper has 6.
Isn't Stewart
so I mean
the one that won 4 national championships in college? 4 for 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that. I remember that one of them did. I thought it was her.
Yeah, she's got like this little goat case going on here.
Yeah.
She's fucking
no, but they don't want to talk about it. Okay, but they don't want to talk about it because who are the 2 like females that are always chosen to talk about women's basketball? And that's Sue Bird, who is considered the GOAT, even though she doesn't have the backup.
I got it.
And Diana Taurasi.
She hasn't seen my list.
Diana Taurasi, both of which are UConn women who are older than Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And Taurasi is supposedly retiring this year. So, like, maybe they can get out of their fucking way and stop hating on the people who are coming up behind them. But that's unlikely because women are petty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like Shaq. Sorry, Lauren.
Everyone thinks that they're Kobe now, where they can just I'll just be mean to everybody, and I'm like the Black Mamba, and I can just be an asshole. I don't think.
I hate it.
It's not playing very well with a lot of these modern day athletes.
It's not. All right. So, any other best one-of-ones? I mean, I think your optical vinyls, your Prism Black Finites, your NT Shield autographs, your Ultimate Logo Man autographs, your Gem Master one-of-ones, your top.
Dude, that Magic the Gathering card.
What's that?
That Magic the Gathering card that sold
the Gathering, the one something.
The one ring.
One ring. All right. That might make a good story post for the middle of the week. Like, tell me what you think the best one-of-one is. I bet we'd get even more good answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Frozen Inferno Collectibles says, please discuss the Wemby Mercury release and if game-used rookie jerseys can outweigh unlicensed.
Dude, I had a whole rant about this last time, right?
Yeah.
You want me to summarize it?
No. That's okay. We've already discussed. Yeah, we've discussed at length. I like the second part of this question, which is, can game-used rookie jerseys outweigh unlicensed? Not going to give an opinion on that, but I think that this is a really interesting case study where you have all the different components of a card isolated. So you have Panini, which is offering you fully licensed, but no autographs. You have Fanatics and Topps, which are offering you game-worn and autographed, but not fully licensed. And then you have as well this third category, which both Panini and Fanatics are offering, which is the pre-rookie card, the Prism Draft cards, the Bowman University stuff. And how do we triangulate all 3 of those? The pre-rookie season cards, the license stuff, and the memorabilia and the autograph stuff. I think you can actually kind of use this as a case study to isolate where does the value come from, and look after 5 years have passed, go back, let's look at where the values are at on each of these 3, and we can sort of suss out what actually matters the most of these different variables. We've isolated variables in an experiment here.
Yeah. Well, last thing, it's amazing watching all of the influencer content creators that are willing to completely sell out and just pump this unlicensed garbage and just throw themselves under the bus. So good job to those people. Thanks for giving yourselves the scarlet letter.
Yeah, that's a different experiment that was run as well.
It's hilarious. All of them at the same time, like all the same day. Oh, look at these boxes I got. Oh my god. $5,000 is amazing.
Dude, yeah. All right. Next question here from Ragnar Cards. I know your goals are to get the best cards of the best players, but what if finances forced you to prioritize one? Would you rather have a good card of the best player or the best card of a good player? So,
This
for
is such a
example,
good question.
yeah, it is. It's for example, the Prism Gold of Patrick Mahomes or the Black Finite of the next tier, such as Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, etc. Assume the same price. So if somebody's Black Finite is worth less, you have to downgrade the Mahomes card until they're equal. So let's just assume that the Mahomes Prism Gold is worth the same as the Josh Allen Prism Black Finite, both rookie year.
Yeah.
Do you go with the great player, good card, or great card, good player?
This is my favorite card in my football collection. It's going to answer your question.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And I have the same card of better players. I just is it the same answer? For people that didn't see my screen, it's a Michael Thomas, like super random player. I just like having the best cards of, and also where we feel like the hobby might not think they're the best player, but we think that they're a lot better than the rest of the hobby values that player, and then having their best card, that's like our lane right now, at least for football.
Totally. Yeah. And I don't think there needs to be a commitment to only doing one or the other exclusively.
Yeah.
I think you can do both. You can have in your PC good cards of great players, and you can have in your PC great cards of good players. That's how I do it.
Yeah. You've been more focused on the latter, and I kind of go back and forth. But every once in a while you will get the itch to get some MJs that aren't 1-on-1s, but like you feel it's a good time to add to the PC. You do both.
Yeah, no, I have sitting on my desk here a Michael Jordan one of a kind from 98-99 Stadium Club. There's 150 of these. I got it at the National, and I was like showing it to some people who collect Ultra Modern, and they were just like 150 copies. Like, this is trash.
They're like, here, sir, will you trade this for my gallon of milk?
Right, exactly. All right. But side note, by the way, that card is not trash.
You're like, fuck off, it's not trash.
All right, moving on here.
Michael Jordan, ever heard of him?
I'll have the last laugh when I have all 150, and I incinerate 149 of them. All right. Splendid Sports says, what is Ultramodern Baseball's best card? I personally find that current baseball products are very diluted, and they are confusing to collect. Panini has done a better job than Topps in this era at creating products with long-term collectability, in my opinion.
Are we picking a specific card player, or is just like we're saying like a
no,
card of a brand?
It's like what's the baseball player that in black?
Isn't it the Bowman Chrome Superfractor Auto? Yep. Auto, right? It's got to be the auto.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think without having much of a background in ultramodern baseball collecting, that's my default. I think like when the Paul Skeens sold recently for like 120,000 or something, like I think that's his consensus best card. I do think there is consensus around the Bowman Chrome First Superfractor Auto being the best card.
The Trout, and you're right. You said it at the end there. It's got to be their their prospect one, like their first before they even get called up to the majors, right?
Right. Exactly.
So this is the Mike Trout. This one sold for 3.8 back in the day, if you remember that one. And then Skeens, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been actually watching some of these baseball playoffs. Don't hate.
No, I've been watching them too. I watched that crazy bottom of the ninth home run.
Yep.
At Yankees Guardians game.
There was 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, my wife was like, why are you watching baseball? You hate baseball. And I was like, it's very simple. Let me explain it to you. In the regular season, every single game is absolutely 100% meaningless. And these games mean everything. Judge's legacy is on the line in every at bat. Yeah. All these games, like all these guys' legacies are being defined. Soto, Judge, all these Dodgers players, Ohtani's in it. Like, what if we get Yankees Dodgers as non-baseball guys? If we get Yankees Dodgers, like at least we know a bunch of the players.
Totally. Yeah, I think for the hobby, Yankees Dodgers is just a gold mine.
Isn't that like if the MLB could choose, wouldn't they choose that exact matchup?
Yeah.
Because I heard that in Japan, the TV numbers are better than here when the Dodgers play right now.
That's nuts.
Well, Japan is like 1/3 the population of U.S. combined. So, like, I could believe it.
Yeah, and they're like huge Ohtani fans, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the Yankees games. I think they're exciting.
Yeah, they've been pretty good.
Yeah.
For anyone else out there who doesn't know, the Dodgers used to be in Brooklyn. So everyone's talking about the Subway Series, but that would be like old school Subway Series.
Let's go.
Subway Series planning?
Well, no, because like the Dodgers used to be in Brooklyn and the Yankees were in the Bronx.
Yeah. Oh,
so then the Dodgers got sent away to LA. So like, even if the Dodgers win, there are New York Dodgers fans who would be excited.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
First, I have a question that's isolated to Chris, and nobody in the chat can help him. And then I want people in the chat to help me, because I don't know the fucking answer. So I was mansplained tonight on this. What color are the Yankees jerseys?
Gray.
And?
Dark blue.
Okay, how the fuck did I not know this? That is black, right? Am I colorblind?
That's like navy blue. That's like a dark blue.
I know it is, and I've been explaining this, but I thought it just like it looks black to me. Am I crazy?
Yes.
This color here does not look black to you.
The helmet looks black, but like if you like shift like the nameplate though, it starts to look a little more dark.
Because I was like tonight, I was like, oh look, they're wearing like the gray and black instead of the pinstripes. I said something like that, and my wife's like, "Oh, that's navy blue," and I was like, "What? That's black."
No, yeah, it's navy blue. I think you should get your eyes checked.
This looks navy blue to me.
No, even though
yeah, and that's probably like where we're biased, just knowing ahead of time that that's the color.
But this to me is like, I don't know, maybe it's a I don't know.
Do you want to pull up that dress and we can figure out if it's gold and white or blue and black?
No, because you lie.
All right.
It's just like, can you at least tell me it's like really dark blue?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that's.
I feel like
you were showing us really dark.
I feel like I went my whole life thinking the Yankees colors were black and white, and I'm like an idiot, a complete psycho.
It's 1 in 10
how do you
people
explain
are,
the pinstripe then?
What do you mean?
It's white with navy blue stripes. Do you think they're black stripes?
Yeah, like literally, Christina, like all three of those colors, the logo, the helmet, and the stripes, and the Nike swoosh look black to me. Like black.
Yeah, you should take a colorblind test. It would actually explain a lot.
Like it looks literally like black. The helmet especially.
Yeah, I can see it.
Is it like one of those things where my mind has thought it was black for all these years and I just can't get it out of my mind?
Yeah.
Yes, probably.
All right, well, I thought you guys might be on my side of this because as fellow non-baseball people.
I just always knew that was the color. So but like that picture that you're looking at, it looks black. I mean, it may like if somebody did like the Photoshop test where you just like take a drop of that color and like blow it up to the whole screen, it'd probably be really dark.
I'm doing that. There's like a hex color grabber in Chrome. I'm doing. Go ahead. Get the next question.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
It's dark. It's a navy blue. Like,
he's gonna do the hex. Let him hex color grab.
Okay, that's fine.
You don't even.
Chris
know
is like, at least you're making me feel a little better. I feel like I'm an idiot.
I don't disagree with that statement.
Let's see what the hex color grab says.
Do you know what a hex color grabber is?
No.
Oh yeah. I know what the hex refers to, like all the gradients of colors that get used in.
What's the hex for black?
99999.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
I was just gonna say 0. Damn.
The absence of color, and then white is FFFFFF.
All colors combined.
Go ahead.
All right. This next question is from Vinny Slaverina.
Always enjoy the show.
Yes, he does. And
He loves the show again.
He continues. In a recent post, you mentioned your carefully curated collection fits into a shoebox. Is that happenstance or intentional? I ask because I feel like the number of cards in a carefully curated collection cannot help but be influenced by its storage or display. For example, I have 4 wall displays for my cards that hold a total of 140 cards, so I'm careful about what cards go in. I am still being influenced by a random number. Thanks, Vin.
Is it more about your storage, or just is it like a random number for you?
the storage is the arbitrarily selected limiting factor.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just get a bigger box.
Yeah. Right. But, the box is the size of the box. Like his point is just sort of an observation, I think, about the random and arbitrary things that determine the size of our collections. And, it's got a point. Did you hex color grab?
Just shut up. I'm trying to figure out how to work this fucking thing.
That means it came out as like baby blue. Not even
Okay, it says... This is stupid. How do I make it pick?
Okay,
this is so stupid.
Keep working on that. I have another one that I can do.
Right.
This one is from Out of Wax, aka Ruben. He wants to know, what is the difference between these 4 types of cards? 1, buybacks. 2, honors/archives. 3, white/black box. 4, backdoored. And this is a great question. And here's the distinction. A buyback is a card that was previously issued, that is bought back on the secondary market, has some sort of modification made to it, usually like an autograph is added, and then it's reinserted into a pack, and it gets pack pulled again, and it becomes part of a whole new checklist of a subsequent product release. 2, honors or archives. These are cards that are not buybacks traditionally, at least not the case for Panini Honors. They were never inserted into packs. The Panini Honors were left on the manufacturer's floor for whatever reason as possible replacement cards or just duplicates, quality control copies, and then they are modified in some fashion. They get an autograph added onto them, or they get a serial number handwritten onto them, and then they are put in all into their own product. They all form their own checklist, and they get issued together as their own product. White and black box are they have the same origins as the honors cards, where they're just duplicate copies that the manufacturer has, but they never get put into their own, systematically designed, packed out, checklist possessing product. Instead, they're just one-offs. It's just, if Panini needs to fulfill your redemption, or you have Panini points, sometimes at the National, they will offer you this as a substitution for what you were supposed to get. And then finally, backdoored. This means these are totally unofficial cards. These never got put into any manufacturer-certified product. They also originate as quality control copies, or copies that otherwise were left in the manufacturing room. And they never made it out for public consumption. They were never intended to, but they got, quote-unquote, backdoored. They walked out the back with an employee, or they got purchased in the bankruptcy liquidation of Fleer, or whatever the case may be. But these are cards that were never intended to be released. They got backdoored. Great question by Ruben. Go ahead, Josh. What do you got?
Yeah, okay. This is so good. I'm right, and you guys could just go away. All right.
Well, can I do, Josh? Yeah, why don't you finish that sentence?
The Yankees' official uniform colors are midnight navy blue and white. And when I run the color picker on this logo, the color that is outputted is... Can you see that midnight blue?
Yeah.
Basically exactly what the website says. So my color picker is calibrated. You agree?
Agreed.
Okay. When I run it on... Hold on one second. This image, which I feel is pretty black looking.
Yeah.
I run the same thing, and to be fair to myself, I'm picking the most dark black part of his helmet, which is right there.
Yeah.
And it says...
Black. There you go.
I would like to contest this by saying that you have chosen a picture that we do not know if it has been touched up or contrasted at all.
But his question was, looking at this picture,
right,
doesn't it look like it's black and gray? And I said that from the beginning. Using that picture, it looks... I could see why you would say black.
Yeah. And this... This is a PNG from their site. You're actually pulling the resources off their site, and I can see the blue all over. I see it, and I click the thing, and it does midnight blue every time.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe it's like the light from the stadium or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I looked at that picture. Like George said, we all got duped, agreed?
Well, then I think, like, am I the only one that even, one, cares about this and then, like, thinks this? Is everyone else just like, yeah, dude, it's always blue. What are you talking about? Or is someone out there like, yeah, I always thought it was black?
Well, we hexed it. So
yeah. I think that Chris was right, like, earlier when he said that we're biased by knowing that it's a navy blue.
Yeah.
So looking at it, I don't ever see black due to the fact that I know it's navy blue.
Yeah.
So you guys are just like baseball historian snobs?
No, I'm from Connecticut, which is split down the center between, or like diagonal between Yankees fans and Red Sox fans, with a weird cluster of Mets fans that are from Hampton, Connecticut.
Oh, Mets fans catching us.
What if the supplier of gear, gloves, elbow pads, etc. for the Yankees is like, hey, we're gonna send you guys a bunch of stuff. What color do you want? They're like, black, it's fine, just it's the easiest color to make. Or are they like making Nike midnight blue elbow pads for these guys?
What if the hex gradient has slowly been getting darker in an attempt to confuse the masses, and you were just the first person to notice that the shift to FFFFF has been fulfilled?
What I'm saying is I have thought it was black and white since like forever.
F is white, 0 is black.
Oh, sorry, 000. I had like a stupid Yankees hat when I was like 9. And
you were like, this thing is fucking blue?
I always knew it was blue, yeah.
No, that's not what I'm asking, what you know it is.
That's funny. I had a KC Royals hat when I was 9. Because those are my initials. Those are also blue, by the way, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. That's like blue. That's like royal blue. Literally, royal blue. This is like fucking blue.
Yeah, that's blue. That's blue.
I know, I just wanted to check, like, that you made sure, like, Royals, like, were blue, like, royal blue, you know?
Like, I want, like, at least when I wake up in the morning, I need 5 DMs that are like, dude, I thought it was black forever. If that doesn't happen, then
I don't know if those are coming. I
might quit the show.
Yeah, this will be like, if Josh doesn't get 5 DMs, no show next week. So let's see what happens. All right.
What does he want? Just people telling him that they thought it was also black?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's pick a title.
I got mine.
What's yours?
I thought it was black.
Okay, all right.
The chat's like, who cares? This is just a stupid topic.
Well, we get to decide the topics. Okay. So, you know what we do? We go through the titles that we've collected over the show.
How many questions did we miss?
Quite a few.
You were like, let's rapid fire, and we got like one more after we said that.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Do you have
About
one that
30.
stands out as your... Do you have a fave?
Or
one that's like, damn, I really feel bad about not getting this one.
There's still quite a few good ones. I mean, there's still like there was a larger quantity than usual this week too. So it's all right. We got to some very good ones. So okay, let's go. Pick a title here. First up, raises the eyebrow. Second up, just calm down.
You did not say that. Like, neither of you said that to me.
He said it about exquisite
We both said it to
prices.
you. Yeah, no, it was about people who are excited about the exquisite prices.
Yeah.
And people who are skeptical and worried, just calm down. There'll be more comp soon. But now maybe you just need to calm down.
She just like assumes that we always say that to her now.
I thought you were very calm. All right, moving on.
It depends.
It depends. Next up, we have fake hype. We always have something like that. At least every show. After that, we have a lot of mansplaining. Then we have patchsplaining. Then we have sympathetic to the dumb billionaire.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it's
Like,
good.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, money bags. Yep, money bags emoji.
It just like flows nicely.
It does. All right, I'll mark that one.
That's like a book title, man.
If it's ugly, I don't want to be near it.
That's just like a classic crossover one.
Yeah, it is. Homegirls for Luca.
Dude, every time we start the show, I'm like, what if we don't have any good captions at the end? And we all I don't. It's just there's no way.
I never even worry about that, even 1%.
I know it's not ever real, but it's like one of these weeks we gotta have like two, and they're both bad.
No, I know there's gonna be some crazy shit said. All right, the stuff that keeps me up at night. The box is the size of the box.
True. True.
And I thought it was black. So, all right. I'm going to put my vote in for patchsplaining.
I was going to say, I either like patchsplaining or the billionaire one.
I just don't want any of those hobby billionaires out there to think it's aimed at them, because it's not.
Yeah,
well,
I told you. You just said it. I told you this earlier in the show.
I think you planted that worry in my head, yeah.
I know. Just like you planted in my head their blue jerseys.
It's aimed at two of them because two were the idiots who were bidding on those auctions.
Yeah. I think so. My vote is
real though.
I vote patchsplaining.
All right. What's the emoji? And are you making it 2 words? Like how are you spelling
maybe like
that shit? You don't know.
That head yelling. That yelling head.
And a hyphen?
No hyphen.
It should be the teacher.
No hyphen. No hyphen in the here. Like I'll put the yelling emoji in the chat. Like it's a good emoji.
I think it should be the teacher.
The one that Stiff just did.
I can't. Hold on. I can't see it.
Stiff did the one where they're like there's like blue on the top of their head.
It'll go like this.
Or black, I guess.
Edge. Or black. Pills just put it here. It'll be this.
Stiff says homegirls for Luca would be a wild thumbnail.
Yeah.
Stiff says, what if it included a disclaimer after the billionaire title, not talking about you? That's crazy.
See, I'm not getting the chat anymore. My chat keeps dying.
Oh, damn. You didn't have the chat the other day. I missed a ton of comments, too, because you guys have referenced several that I never even saw.
Yeah,
see, I thought
all of them either. I'm blocking.
I got the comments to stop during the whole like black and blue thing, so I'm like, look, people hate me, this topic sucks, but there's more I'm missing.
Yeah. All right. Good show. Thank you for all the great questions. I'll save these for the next show too, the ones that we didn't get to.
So that we can be up till 4 a.m. next week.
Yeah, exactly. All right. See you guys next week.
CY Card Ladder is the most respected sports card analytics app on the market. We have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history. Easily find recent comps and get a better estimate what your cards are worth. CY Card Ladder is the most trusted and the most reliable sports card analytics app on the market. We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder, constantly innovating. Try it for free. CY Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data. Card Ladder, we're just getting started.